Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtiwada. In this video, we will learn about Next.js, Page.js and Layout.js and what is the importance of these two files in our Next.js application. So these are the core pages or core files which helps us for making our routing easy in Next.js. So let me go into another slide. Here, these two are reserved files given by Next.js. That means we should not create these two files for other stuff. Like for example, if you want to make a utilities for a layout, you should not create layout.js. Or if you want to create a layout.js, there is a specific definition for creating that layout.js and is a reserved file for Next.js. And in the same way, you have something like page.js. It is also reserved by Next.js and we have to use only for a specific purpose. And the purpose of page.js is whenever you want to have a route and if you want to go there and then that particular page should load, then you have to use this page.js. And layout.js is a combination of different things, like you have a header and below that you have a lot of content which will be changed based on your route. Such things can be considered as a layout. So layout will be common for two or three pages or throughout the application, but pages are something like it will be based on your route. This too helps us to design our application in a easy manner without creating lot of stuff just by using your folder structure. So let me go into the Visual Studio Code and I'll show you the basic understanding of this page.js and layout.js. So here, first we'll go into the page.js. As you know, the page.js is a normal React functional component and we are using that functional component with export default. Whatever the page.js you have to write export default and that function will be treated as your main function. So this is our main function in our page.js. If I try to remove export default, it will not work. It will fail. Let's do that. Save this and go here. You got an error. That is unhandled runtime error. The default export is not a React component in page. That means there is no default export. For example, I'm not keeping this as a default export and just I'm copying this and put it over here and export default and I'm exporting the default value as home1 and save this. Now you can see this is a default export I am using and this is where we have to see that is nothing but hello world exported component, something like this, and save this. You have to see this output. You can see hello world exported component. So now whatever I'm exporting by default, that will be rendered by our page.js, and whatever the remaining function components which are not exported by default, such components are just a normal functions. They are not rendered by Next.js, but we can use them to render in our code. For example, if I want to use this as a component, I can do that like this and save this. Now you can see the output of hello world. That means whatever we are writing in the page.js with is export default, such are called as the main functions and remaining all the functions can be used as a React components. So that's how we can use this page.js and it is very very important. For example, let me change this name, rename to page1.js and see what happens. It is going to 404 and this 404 is also reserved page. That is nothing but a not found page. It is going directly into the not found page without our intimation. And that is where you are seeing 404. This is not configured in our application yet, but it is given by Next.js itself. So this is the problem if you are not using a page.js. Whenever you don't find a route, that means you don't have a page.js that is not configured properly or the naming convention. So here the naming convention matters more and it is very very important. So let me make it as page.js again and you can see the output over here. Now let me cut this and make this as normal state and I'll use the home itself and save this. Now we understood about the page.js. Let's go with the layout.js. What this layout.js is, it will make your application with a common code. For example, here is a layout.js. Now this layout.js is created by default by our Next.js application, but if you don't want to do that, for example, I'm removing this root layout. Why it is called as a root layout is because it is the first layout throughout our application and it is inside your app folder. Hence this layout is the root layout for us. Let me remove this root layout and now when you see this, When you go back and just refresh this, automatically there will be a layout.js which is created. It is automatically created, but this time it changed some code. Let's see what the code changes. So here by default these are the configurations which are provided by Next.js, but whenever you remove that layout.js and when you run that page, automatically it will create the root layout, because this should run in one place, and that is nothing but a single page application. Because of this root layout only, we are able to get a capability of single page application. If you see here, we have a HTML code with the children. Whatever the data below this or whatever the pages we are rendering under this layout, they are called as a children. In this case, my app page.js is the children. So that's why it is rendering over there. And whatever the common code you want, you can write inside your page.js. I'll explain you about the metadata and all that stuff in the upcoming videos. For now, this is our root layout and we are getting a children, and it has one HTML content and body content. Whatever you are writing inside the page.js, that will come inside this body, and it will not refresh your page when you are navigating from one page to another page, and hence it achieves a single page application capability. So that's about your children prop inside the layout.js. For example, if you want to write some header content, let me make it like this. And if I write something like h1, hi, this is my header. So this will be a common code for all the children. For example, you created one more route. If you create one more route, automatically that will also have this header, and the children will be replaced based on your route. So let me go here. You can see, hi, this is my header and hello world. If you change the route, for example, 123 and hit enter, you can see the header same with 404 page. That means wherever you go, this header will be common for all the routes. So all the routes which requires a common code, that can be configured at a app level, and that is at a layout level. If you want to have sub layouts and if you want to create sub layout structure, then you can do that as well. It is very very simple. We will talk more about this routings in the future videos, but this is what the purpose of layout.js. Layout.js helps us to configure our layout, and all the remaining components under that layout will be rendered automatically inside the children, and whatever you are writing specific to that layout, that will be common for all the pages which are under that particular layout. And let's talk about metadata as well. So here we are creating a metadata, and this metadata has a title and a description which will be visible on your browser tab. Let me go here and you can see, let me go back. Here you can see the Next.js. Let me inspect this. You can see a description as well. So if you go into the head tag, we have something called as meta tag. So this meta tag has been introduced into this layout by using the name and the content, just by framing this object. Next.js will take care of everything if you add a metadata. So here the metadata is also at a page level you can write, at a layout level you can write, anywhere you can write, and that also we'll discuss more in the upcoming videos. But this is also a reserved content of Next.js. Metadata is also a reserved content, and we can generate dynamic metadata as well. So that's about your page.js and layout.js. In the upcoming video, we will create some other routes and how they work in the Next.js. We'll see. That's it for this video. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.